Hello, it's Andrew Eborn here with the rather sad news that we have lost a major member of the Motown family. Sadly, Mary Wilson, who was the co-founder of the Supremes, has died at her home, aged 76. And to remember her and her importance in the music industry, I'm joined by R.J. Gibb. How are you doing, R.J.?
Oh, fantastic, Andrew. Yeah. No, the Supremes were one of the pioneering groups of that era that even my father used to always say, "Oh, and I would love to write for them, love their voices." And Baby Love, Come See About Me, Second That Emotion.
It's an incredible body of work when you think about it. They had 12 number ones in the US. I mean, the group itself was founded in 1959 in Detroit. They had a few different members along the years, didn't they? I mean, Mary was one of the founder members.
Motown royalty.
And
Motown
also,
royalty. Okay.
That's right. Florence Ballard as well. I mean, she was she was one of the original members, and Barbara Martin as well, who was eventually replaced by Cindy Birdsong in 1967. But Mary was one of the staples all the way along that sort of period. And it is incredible when you have songwriting ability like that, in the same way as your father. Did they know each other very well?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, he had met with we used to see them at award ceremonies and galas and such. I mean, she wasn't 76. It's these days. It's not that old. It's she still had quite a few years there of contribution to. She was involved in a lot of causes. So philanthropy and also I don't think an artist ever really gives up in the music industry. So she could have contributed as well in that sense. But yeah, no, very sad day.
Well, you're absolutely right. It was only a couple of days ago that Mary herself was on YouTube saying that she's working on a new solo album.
That's right. Yeah. I hope they were able to. I remember when my father passed away, we were in the middle of writing things in it, and I had to get to work to salvage as much as possible and use even some of the demos that he'd done to use filters and the mix to make it sound more sort of radio worthy. I mean, they all had amazing voices anyway, but it was so. But I think her contribution could have been, tenfold. 76.
Yeah.
Another good 10 years in the music industry.
Well, you say. I mean, this week has been a week for losing a few people, sadly, in the public eye, including Captain Sir Tom Moore, who famously was the oldest person to get to number one at 100 years old with Michael Ball. So if you work on that basis, it's another generation, isn't it? 76 is no age at all.
No. And I mean, he exemplified everything that's that you hold dear as a British subject. Stiff upper lip, carry on, and help your fellow man.
No, absolutely. He was a beacon of hope, wasn't he? And an inspiration, not just for a nation, but a beacon of hope for the world. I mean, incredible character.
Yes.
Yeah. And Mary herself, I mean, she carried on. She was a New York Times. I mean, the group itself disbanded in 1977, the Supremes. They had different versions of it, as we say. But she was a New York Times best-selling author in 1986. She did her autobiography, Dream Girl, My Life as a Supreme. And that then became sort of the Supremes themselves were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame a bit later in 1988. And there was then the big refocus on their life, if you like, in 2006, when they had the movie Dreamgirls with Beyonce and Jennifer Hudson. And that shone a spotlight again on the Supremes and the fantastic work. Although it was funny because Mary Wilson herself, she sort of said, well, the film didn't really depict a very accurate representation.
When does it ever?
Happens in things.
Yeah, no, yeah, no. When I was saying how my father wanted to work on writing and composing music for them, he kind of got his wish. You know, later on when he was doing music, writing music for other Motown greats, but then he got the chance to write for Diana Ross, of course, which was a Chain Reaction is an amazing song, and of course, I think he would have loved to have worked with Mary on projects, and you know, it's just it's one of those things where you don't know you know, how much time you have, so get to it, you know, do as much as you possibly can, because that's your legacy.
Absolutely. I mean, and interesting, one of the most public things that she did, Mary is performing very recently, as I say, apart from working for a new album, in 2019, she was in the American equivalent of Strictly Come Dancing called Dancing with the Stars. So she was getting out and she was still in the public eye and things like that. And as I say, just 2 days, just a couple of days ago, she was talking about the solo work. And it's so tragic, isn't it? As you say, don't put off today for tomorrow what you can do right now. Carpe diem, as they say.
Yes, seize the day, of course. Yeah, always.
And it is interesting, all the tributes that are coming in, and she's certainly well loved in the music industry, and one of the, I say, the founding members of the Supremes, but the legacy will live on with that fantastic music and those iconic performances.
Oh yeah, no, I still love watching them.
Glorious. Well, RJ, thank you so much for joining me as we remember Mary Wilson, who passed away at her home, age 76 today. For now, RJ, thank you for joining us.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
R.I.P. Mary Wilson.
So thank you again to RJ Gibb for joining us. As he says, his father, Robin Gibb, collaborated with Diana Ross, but the legacy from the Supremes, Mary Wilson, who died today at her home in Henderson, Nevada, leaving that incredible legacy of work. Thank you very much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.